Happy Monday! Happy Monday! Happy Monday! Happy Monday! It is Lily. I am your host of the Healing She Got Faith talk show. I am also the founder of Healing She Got Faith. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We are in day 10 of October, which means October is moving fast. I hope that October has been a little bit more nicer to you than September. And I say that as I'm preparing for my birthday, as I'm preparing for my grand opening, as October has been pretty busy. So I am just hoping that it has been good for you. I'm hoping that it has been a work in progress. But yeah, I'm here. I'm excited. Life is great. So I hope the same is going for you. So let's get started with our icebreaker. If you are new here, welcome. If you are new here, we do an icebreaker every show. It doesn't matter if it's with me or a guest. I pick affirmation cards. I'll let you know the affirmation cards. I'll put them in the show notes. I pick them or you pick them if you're a guest. We read them out loud and we see if it resonates, kind of have a conversation. And that kind of gets the show started. If you are a current listener, avid listener, a follower that has been with us, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for coming back every week. Thank you for keeping Healing She Got Faith up and running. So, yes, without further ado, let's go ahead and read and pick our card. Well, I already picked my cards, but let's go ahead and read them. So, I picked from Mindful Messages, which a lot of y'all know this is one of my favorite decks, and then also too one of my newer decks, which is a butterfly affirmation, which I really like. So as I was shuffling the butterfly affirmations, two cards fell out, so they were meant for me. And honestly, with the mindful messages, it was just two cards. As I was shuffling, they just really spoke to me, so I kind of randomly picked them. And I just feel like all four of these cards just really, really spoke to me. So let's start with the butterfly affirmations. It says everything is going to be okay. I love it. If you're on YouTube, you can see the picture. Oh, you can't see that. Okay, you can't see that. But everything is going to be okay. I I believe this. I believe this. I freaking believe this. And I just feel like as I'm going through this healing journey, as I'm going through this business journey, oh my God, I feel like I've been in such a rut majority of my life, and I feel like I'm always stressed out and panicked, and I'm like at a place where I'm getting closer to my grand opening and I'm getting nervous, and not that I'm expecting to fail, but I'm just so used to things not going the way they're supposed to go. And so like I've really had to be active in like praying and meditating and showing gratitude and things of that nature. And for me to have this card on this Monday to start off this week, like everything is going to be okay. Like that was just my message. Like it is going to work out. You are good. You are good. Okay. You are good. I think a lot of times as business owners, as first time business owners, as people who are breaking these generational curses, we are oftentimes so hard on ourselves. We are so hard on ourselves because we feel that we should know what we don't know. We feel that things should happen because we've worked so hard. And I'm here to tell you, and this is going to suck, but it does not matter how hard you work. Sometimes the shit just don't fucking work. Okay? And I'm not saying hard work does not pay off. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is sometimes we give our all, we spend our last penny, we do everything we're supposed to do and it just does not work out the way we think it's supposed to. But as this card is saying, everything will be fine. Everything will be okay. It will be fine. And so I'm just here to encourage myself, to allow myself to know that like you don't have anybody giving you the blueprint. You don't have anybody that's here to like give you step by step. You know, a lot of this stuff you've done on your own. Yes, you got supporters, but a lot of this has just been a learning lesson for you. So you have to give yourself grace. You have to give yourself grace for what you don't know, for what you're going to mess up, for the deals that you mess up, but also to give yourself grace for doing it. Like you're here, you're showing up. You just have to show up every day. I was watching the Lil Baby documentary on Amazon Prime, and as I was watching it, like and I think one of his producers in the show actually said that like he was the definition of someone who just continued to show up every day until he found his voice. And that is so powerful. And then y'all know Glorilla, like everybody been talking about like I don't know what it is about her, but like I thoroughly support her and I feel that. And it's a couple rappers in St. Louis like Diamond, like just show up and it's going to happen, and it's not always going to be peaches and cream. It's not always going to be like the best thing, but you show up every day until it matters. You show up every day until the move happens. It's hard, it's not easy. Like I've had a lot of bad days, but I've also had a lot of good days. So yes, everything is going to be okay. Okay, card number 2. The more I trust in life, the better things turn out. This has been so powerful. And I think I talked about this last week when it was just like that was kind of a revelation for the last episode. Like I had to become okay with life being the way life is. I had to become okay with my place in life. I had to become okay with the situation at hand. Like I had to become okay with that. And I think a lot of times, we always just question or why me and why does this have to happen to me? And when I listened to the Lauren London interview with Jay Shetty, and I think even Angie Martinez, um, and she said, "Why not me?" And part of that, it gets a little deep. Part of that is dealing with your ego. Part of that is dealing with the part of you that doesn't feel big enough. And so you have to continue to do stuff to make yourself big enough when you're doing all that you can with what you got, with what you know, which is a beautiful thing. And we don't give ourselves enough grace. But as the card says, the more I trust in life, the better things turn out. And sometimes you just have to know that things will work out. Now, just because I say I know they will work out does not negate my feelings, because my feelings will still be there. It might be scary. It might be sad. It might be frustrating. It might be upsetting. We still have feelings. So we can accept things and we can trust life, but we can also still have those emotions and feelings that we don't like to talk about, which there's nothing wrong with that, because I can still believe that God is good. I can still believe that life is good and still be scared as fuck. Okay. I can still do that. I can still be very much scared, but still believe at the same time. And I know like that might go against some spiritual beliefs, like you can't have fear and trust God. And I just don't believe that. Like God knows I'm human. God knows that I don't have his powers. God knows that I trust God, but God also knows that I'm a little scared. I'm a little nervous. And so I think this card does speak. The more I trust in life, the better things turn out. And the more I've accepted my place in life and the more I've accepted who and what I am, I do believe the better life has come out. And it took some healing. It took a lot of healing. It took a lot of um, taking a step back. It took a lot of me having to relearn myself to even get to this point. So that's not even something in life that I'm like, oh yeah, like I did it in 1, 2, 3. No. And I told you that last time. Like I was never here to show y'all 10 ways to heal and be a better person. Like I can't tell you that. I'm really here to talk to the people who are authentic and real and want to be honest, like want to be honest about their journeys, want to, like who are going to show themselves when the cameras ain't on. So, and I think that speaks volumes to people who can be honest about what they've gone through, because some of us have been through a lot and some of us haven't realized we've been through a lot until we talk to the people and they be like, girl, you did a lot. Okay, let's move on. Card number 3, and this is from Mindful Messages. It says, water my dreams. All I desire is on its way to me, but like a seed, my dreams too must be watered. My belief and determination is what makes them grow. I will be patient throughout this journey. It is all unfolding at the perfect time. I have to drink some coffee to this. Excuse me. Wow. Um, all I desire is on its way to me, but like I said, my dreams too must be watered. My belief and determination is what makes them grow. I will be patient throughout this journey. It is all unfolding at the perfect time. I listen, my God. I have been dreaming about Healing She Got Faith for a very long time. I have been working on this building for a very long time. I have been through many jobs. I have been through many homes. I have been through many heartbreaks, friendships, business ships, all coming to an end. There were some very bad decision deals I made in the last couple years that probably left a bad taste in some people's mouth because I didn't have the boundaries, I didn't have the knowledge, I did not have what it took to be a business person at that time. Okay. I have also just realized I was doing everything for everybody else and not myself, which is what allowed me to create Love You the Way You Love the World. Okay. It allowed me to be who I needed to be because I was busy helping everybody else. Like, even in the last couple months, I've had to step away from helping friends and their businesses because it was taken away from what I needed to do. Like the card says, my dreams have to be watered. Okay, just like what it say, just like a seed, my dreams have to be watered. And that's the thing. A lot of times we do everything for everybody else and we neglect ourselves. Support is needed, villages are needed. Okay, it is very, very much needed. We need each other to go around. But I wonder what the world would look like if we all catered to our needs first and then catered to the world. I wonder what the world would look like, because I feel like we would be a lot more healed, and I feel like it would be a lot more going around. But I say that because a lot of times I meet people who just have to do everything for everybody else and not for themselves, and they miss out on life. They miss out on everything that coulda, shoulda, woulda. But imagine we invested in ourselves. Ooh. So yeah, water my dreams. And that's what I'm doing right now, y'all. I am showing up to Healing She Got Faith. There are some days where the blog doesn't get read. There are some days where YouTube don't have no views. There are some days where the podcast don't have no listenership. I'm going back and forth with my marketing company right now because things are just not lining up the way I need them to. And I just show up every day like I'm showing up to 5,500 people, you know? um this dream ain't gonna happen if I don't show up. And I listen to my body, I give my body rest, but I also have to set those boundaries. Setting boundaries has been such a hard part of the healing journey. Setting boundaries has been crazy. Yeah. But with all of that being said, it has been something that, we just got to push forward to. We got to push forward to. We got to know that we are worthy. And, you do have to water your dreams. And it's not always going to be pretty. It will not always look pretty. Sometimes it will suck. And you have to be okay with that. So yeah, card number 4 by Mindful Messages. Up and out. To heal the parts of me that feel hurt, I must feel every emotion. It has to come up to come out. I don't try to push my feelings away. I sit with them and feel them as I release them. I was just having a conversation about this with somebody because I do feel like as much healing as I've done, I still suppress a lot of emotions. I still suppress a lot of feelings and just things of that nature. But I do believe this card, and I believe it because once I started to acknowledge my emotions, which started in therapy last year, where my therapist told me I only knew happy, sad, and angry. I didn't know anything else. And so whereas I only knew the 3 emotions, and there are a bunch of emotions, I needed to learn the emotions, allow myself to feel them, and then work my way through that. And so I started to learn the emotions. I actually keep a emotions chart on my refrigerator, and then every morning and night I check in with myself with the emotions. And it's quite a few emotions on there. And I like it because it allows me to check in with myself and it allows me to feel my emotions. I am the person that I try my hardest not to hide any emotions. There are some people that I struggle very much so with that, because I just know that if I tell them my emotions, it's just not going to do anything. But for the most part, I try to be very honest with where I'm at emotionally and feelings wise, like, because I think that's very, very important. And I think that's the one way to heal. Like, we cannot heal until we feel. And I firmly believe that. So, if you need help with like learning your emotions, go to selfcareisforeveryone.com. Go to their section, their shop section. They have a emotions magnet that you can put on your refrigerator and buy you one. I think it's like $10. Get you one and start there, and this isn't going to be easy, especially if you've never dealt with emotions before. It's not going to be easy, but a baby step is still a step. So step. Okay, y'all. Let's get started with today's episode. So, welcome to episode 42. We are still in the power of grief. And today's title is I Wonder Who My Friend Would Be Today. Um, so today is my friend's 30th birthday. My friend would have been 30 today. He died when he was 20. And that was probably one of the hardest debts I probably dealt with. Me and him weren't really on good terms when he passed away. Like, we were on summer break during college, and I was just so angry and mean back then. And he was trying to help me, and I just had my little stanky attitude. And so we exchanged words, and I just was like, like, you just doing too much. Like, and I often felt like that. Like, I'd be like, oh, you just doing too much. Like, just let me be. And he really just loved me. Like, that was my first platonic relationship where my friend just literally saw me as his friend and just wanted the best for me. Like, he used to always tell me, like, God got such a plan for you. Like, God is gonna move through your life. Like, man, God just be telling me what he's gonna do to you, and you just don't see it. Like, but I can't wait for the day that you see it. And so I was actually like on a missionary trip in Florida with this organization, and he was so excited that I was going. But again, like, we really didn't talk much, and I was going through a breakup, and I was fighting myself. I was going through an illness. I was just really finding myself like trying to fight depression and all type of stuff. And that man just really, really loved me. Like, he just saw me for who I was and accepted me. He just thought I was a really great woman and a great friend. And I, like, to this day, I'm like, what did you see in me? Because I was just so ugly back then. And I be asking people from college, and they say I'm not as ugly as I make myself out to be. But I guess it's because I knew my heart back then. And I knew that, like, I was just broken. I was just so hurt. And so when I found out he died, it kind of was hard. It was hard because we actually had plans to study abroad together that semester that we were coming back. So we were going to go to Italy because a group older than us had just went to Italy, and they had a ball. And he was like, we got to go. We doing this trip. And so, like, I had set it up. I had set it up for both of us. Um, if you read my book, it's in dang, I don't remember which chapter it is. I know it's at the beginning of the book, but I talk about the trip, and I talk about how I actually set it all up. Like, I talked to the professor, I got our paperwork and everything in. Like, I was getting us to talk to financial aid. I was a little bit further than he was, but when we were coming back that final school year, like, I was going to help him talk to the professor and talk to financial aid so that we can get him on the roster to study with us. And he died July 6th. And I remember going back to school in August, and the professor asking to meet with me and was like, "Oh, where's your friend at?" And I was like, "Yeah, he died." And my professor was like, "Lisa, how do you keep like enduring through life? Like, you have been through so much. How do you keep going?" And I don't know. I think I accept life for what it is. I think I've had to learn what grief is. I've had to learn, that it's not a relationship that ended, but it's a relationship that changes. And so my relationship with my friend, like I feel like we grew up together. Like I thoroughly feel like his name is Michael. I thoroughly feel like Michael is with me. And I feel like as I'm growing, like I could hear his voice. Like he was a singer, y'all. So I could hear him singing. I could hear him saying my name. Like he used to just say my name like Lisa. Like I hear him, and I can't lie. I wonder who he would be, and I've talked about this with my parents. As far as like my parents are, like I wonder who my parents would be. Even though they were older than me, obviously, but I wonder like who they would have become because my dad was only 45 when he died. My mom was 55 when she died. So like, who would they have become? And so with Michael, it's no different. Like, who would he be? Would he be married? Would he have kids by now? Would he be a singer? Would I, like, would he run a church? Would he be the deacon of a church? Like, I just wonder, like, who he would be. Who would he have turned out? Especially the way life in this earth has been. Like, who would he be? What would my life look like with Michael? Because, like, Michael was, like, my buddy, okay? Michael was the friend that I could call at like 2 o'clock in the morning. We would walk around campus. Michael would pull up. I remember we were in school in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and his birthday is October 10th. My birthday is October 20th. And I told Michael like I wanted a birthday cake, and Michael went all the way to St. Louis, got a birthday cake, and brought it all the way back to me. That's a 2-hour ride, so he took 4 hours out of his life to bring me a birthday cake, and I just thought that was the sweetest thing ever. Like he just loved who I was as a person, and um I just I just love, like I just thoroughly love that and appreciate that about him. There are days I still want to call him. Like I want to be like, Michael, let me tell you about this. And that was my guy. Like I would tell Michael about all the dudes I was dating, and I would just be like, Michael, let me tell you. And Michael would be like, I beat him up. I'd be like, he had me messed up, and Michael would be like, yeah, I beat him up for you. But also too, like Michael just wanted me to like find the man that like treated me like gold, and I love that about him. And I wanted the same for Michael. Like I just wanted him to find the woman of his dreams and let it be that. And so I think, I celebrate his 30th birthday today. I'm not excited that he's not here, but it's cool for me to be in this grieving season, this grieving cycle of like, Michael, we made it to 30. Um, Life has been different. I think that was a death that took me by surprise that I never really knew how to deal with. But I'd like to think that Michael is proud of me, and I like to think that Michael is smiling. I mean, I can still smell him. I can still hear his voice. I can still hear him singing. Um, that was one of the hardest deaths I think that I took. And and Michael was loved by everybody. Like y'all, like everybody was Michael's best friend. Like I am nobody special. Everybody was Michael's best friend. Everybody loved them some Michael. Michael hung out with everybody. Michael loved everybody. Like he was just such a spirit to be around. And when people, when he died, people were like, damn, like this was a man of God, and he died out of everybody that could have died. That's who died. And so that that has been hard to deal with too, because you wonder like how can somebody love God that much, and the way he died and stuff like that, you just question. But I like to think that Michael is with me. I like to think that Michael watches over all of us. I love talking about Michael. I love remembering him, and I love when Facebook shows our memories. So I definitely miss my guy. I definitely miss him, y'all. So I just, happy 30th birthday, Michael. I often think about who you would be. I think about, where you would be. Like, would you even be in St. Louis right now? Would you be in Atlanta? Like where would you be, Michael? And so I just, I'm just sending him love. I'm sending everybody who knew Michael, I'm sending them love. And his family. And I had never actually met his family. But Michael left such an impact on this world. He left such an impact on so many people. And, I think, we are his living legacy, like his friends and the people who truly loved him. Like, we are his living legacy. So, yeah, I wonder who he would be. And I think I know who he would be, but life be throwing us curveballs. So we'll never know. But his legacy definitely lives on. So that's kind of where I'm at today. I really didn't I kind of knew today would be like a shorter episode. Um, but yeah, because I'm just reminiscing on my friend. So yeah. Happy birthday, Michael. I love you. I love you so much. And I miss you like crazy, buddy. Like, I just miss you. Yeah, I'm gonna have a picture of you on my in my office. I always had a picture of like Michael, my mom and dad at every office that I've ever worked in. And so I can't wait to get it back up and running, Michael. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at today. I'm just kind of reminiscing on what my friend would be today. But yeah, so happy birthday. Housekeeping. Oh, I did want to talk about something before I left. So last week we talked about celebration and reflection, and that was kind of a shorter episode too. I just think these episodes are shorter because of the grand opening and my mind. But anyways, and so, for September, it was celebration and reflection. But like for some reason I kept thinking like October was like the end of the journey. But anyways, last week after I recorded the episode, I actually went and got 3 tattoos. And so I have a big old phoenix on my arm. You probably can't even see it while I'm trying to show it in the camera. Ugh, I be doing some silly stuff. And the phoenix represents rebirth. And so the guy that did it, he drew himself because I could not find like a phoenix that I actually like, but I know I like love the symbolism and the story of the phoenix. And it all started off from a therapist, my very first therapist ever, and she told me, and she gave me a purple origami phoenix, and she told me that I reminded her of a phoenix, and I just always kept that with me. I love the story of a phoenix. And I do feel like I've been reborn, okay? So I got that on my arm, and then I got a lotus flower. It's orange. What is it? It is orange, red, and yellow, like my hair, and of course green for the leaves. And then I got a butterfly that says endurance. Oh, and the lotus flower is under a previous tattoo, with the word perseverance with some butterflies. And this was kind of my way of celebration because, like, I didn't really do much of a celebration, but like, this was my way of celebrating myself and celebrating like the healing journey and really like being outspoken about everything that I've kind of been going through and being outspoken of just myself. And so yeah, so I was excited to share that with you all. So I did continue to do some celebration and stuff like that. So yeah, that was exciting. I'm so excited. I can't wait for them to heal and y'all can see my tattoos. Yes. I never thought I would get an arm tattoo, but here we are. Ooh. All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna be a silly. Housekeeping blogs every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. The grand opening is October 23rd, 1 to 4. We are accepting donations. I'll put all the links in the show notes. We have an Amazon registry list. If you are in St. Louis, and if you're not and you want to, take a trip down to St. Louis, you can RSVP on Eventbrite. And yeah. So I hope you have a great Monday. I love y'all, and I'm going to catch y'all next week. Bye, guys.